This is your resetting the chairs music.
There he goes, Mr. Signing of the Banners himself, Jay Gable. Now invaluable. There he goes. All right, Robert. I need you to do the thing that you do so well to get this thing going. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, do it.
Are you ready? Boston, I want you to show them how great you've been all weekend long. The energy in this room has been unbelievable. The boys will come out when I have you worked up to a frenzy. So sing along with me here. Here we go. Any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it. She loves to laugh. She loves to sing. She loves everything. She loves to move. She loves to groove. She does love everything. All night, every night. So hold tight, hold tight. You better hold tight, Boston. Here we go. Any way you want it, any way you want it. Yeah, she said any way you want it, any way you want it. I was alone, I never knew what good love could do. Ooh, then we touched, then we sang about love and things. All night, every night. So hold tight, Boston, hold tight, here we go. Any way you want it, you want it. Well, she said, any way you want it, that's the way. Any way you want it, wow.
All right, let's make this official, Boston. On behalf of all the good people of Supernatural, let's give a big, warm welcome to Mr. Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki. Have at it, boys.
That's getting harder and harder to jump. I think I just tore my hamstring, so is there a doctor in the house? Because if there was, I was just going to take my pants off and see if you could check out any doctors in the house. Oh, good, a lot of Howdy.
How we doing, Boston?
Hey, Boston. How's your weekend going? Awesome. Anybody's first time? Where the fuck have y'all been for the last 20 years? Just kidding. You said what? I don't get invited to Boston. I got last email was like, hey, we'd love to have you in Boston. And I'm like, I would rather go to Boston. Dad joke?
Look, it's in a song. Please come to Boston for the springtime.
Yeah.
Right? And here we are.
Do more.
But it doesn't feel like spring outside.
It doesn't.
Second winter.
So really excited to see y'all, and this I know we've been doing these for a while. Met a lot of you through the years, which is amazing, and also met some new friends, which is amazing. But I will say that this con marks the first time he and I have been in Boston together. and also marks the first and only time we've been to a convention after playing characters other than Sam and Dean Winchester together.
I was wondering where you were going with that. I had no idea.
I was wondering where I was going with that.
Yeah.
So
I'm
but I
still
landed.
wondering where you're going with this.
I suck the landing. So good to see you guys. And I hope we get to kind of chat.
Yes, good to be here. Love this town. Love you guys. Thank you for having us. Sorry it took us so long to get here, but we are here and we're loving it. And
And let's get to some of the Bostonians, Bostonians,
Bostonians.
Bostonians. Okay, well that doesn't have the accent. I don't like that. Bostonians. I haven't acted in a year. Give me a break.
Hey, did you?
I didn't get asked this.
You didn't get asked?
No.
Newsflash, I nailed him.
Bring it. Do you remember any?
Well, yeah, but I can't say them out loud because
You can spell it. He can't
nobody
spell
can. No one can spell, which is why the way you say it doesn't represent any of the letters that you're looking at. There's 7 other letters there. You don't use them.
Hi, how are you? Apologies.
Oh, no worries.
Thank
Hi.
you for humoring us. Hi,
Hi, I'm Doreen. This
Hi,
is
Doreen.
my first convention, and
welcome.
I mentioned when I was in the photo op, I actually put off a pretty big cancer surgery to be here because I did not want to miss this for anything.
Well, maybe there's one thing. Maybe
True.
cancer treatment. I would put that on the list of things to miss this for. I don't know. Are you starting soon?
Yes,
Thank you.
next Monday I'm having surgery.
Okay, well, our prayers are with you and give them help.
Your family is supporting you.
Thank you. So my question is, during filming, how much were you ad-libbing? Because there's certain phrases like "be like Elsa, let it go," like how much really in the script?
I'm gonna give you one guess as to whether that was ad libbed or not. You think that he and I would have come up with that line? No, that was scripted. But I will say there are lines that are like that they write, where in the moment on the day, he and I will come up with alternative lines that still say the same kind of thing. And a lot of times we would throw those in, not knowing if they would use them or not. Maybe we usually do a scripted one, and then maybe we play a little bit and come up with some other ideas and stuff. So a lot of times we don't know which ones they're going to use until we see the show itself. And a lot of times they use the ones that we make up. So it's.
And I think also I think, I don't know how you felt, but the first several seasons, like 3 or 4 or 5, but there were, so for those who haven't heard this, in a television episode, there's something called exposition, which is kind of where you let the audience know what the episode's going to be about. You know, I come in with a newspaper and I'm like, Dean, there's a guy who was found dead in Waxahachie, and his heart was missing, you know, so like the audience knows what's going on. And those are difficult scenes because you're kind of not really saying anything, but you're saying a lot. And so I think So Get This was just a way that I felt more comfortable delivering. Here's what the episode's about. So I'd walk in like, Dean, check it out. So get this. And then that ended up being scripted in further seasons. So I think it's kind of like, where's the chicken, where's the egg, and a lot of what we did together. But I will say that our writers are super talented, and kind of like latched on to some of our isms and would write them into future episodes as we went along. So we certainly had some fun time ad-libbing, and I think a lot of it made it to the gag reel. But by and large, I think we tried to be good little actors and say the words that the writers wrote. But I hope you enjoyed it.
No,
Doreen,
we did. Thank you so much.
thank you so much, and
Thank
welcome to
you.
the family. Hi.
Hi, my name is Daria. I was wondering if there's anything you've tried lately that was obscure, you didn't think you'd like, just out of the ordinary for you that you ended up loving.
Heroin. What was that? Was that my outside voice?
And this was the last time we came to Boston.
It's Baston. No, I have not tried heroin. I do not recommend heroin. I haven't tried it, but he told me that it's not good. Tried that I didn't know if I'd like.
Misha forced us
Basically,
to do Pilates the other day.
yes. Oh yeah, that's true.
True
That's
story.
True story.
We were in Toronto filming, and he was like, "Hey guys, you want to go work out tomorrow?" We were like, "Yeah, sure. What time do you want to meet at the gym?" He's like, "Oh, actually, there's a studio right around the corner from the hotel." And I was like, "Studio?" I think we just call them gyms, man. It's like a gym. He's like, "No, it's a Pilates studio." And I was forced years ago to go with my lovely bride and spend a summer trying to build up as many brownie points as I possibly could because we were engaged but not yet married. So I was, still trying to earn my keep, and still am, oddly enough.
Daniil is the one person on the planet who can look at Jensen in the eyes and go like, "Hey, you're handsome, but not handsome enough yet. Let's go to Pilates." He's like, "Yeah, fair
We
enough.
need to work on this.
Whatever's going on here."
Yeah. So we mentioned this in an earlier Q&A, and yeah, Jared and me, cut to Jared, Misha, and I in this poor Pilates studio had no idea what hit them when the three of us walk in, and we're like, we should probably get the machines in the back corner. And thank God we did, because it looked like a train wreck was happening. We were just flop sweating.
I'm wearing these pants. He's wearing like sweatpants. Misha,
Yeah, I had
is wearing-
Carhartts on, and
Misha has Crocs.
Eh.
We're like, what's going on here?
no, it was a comedy of errors. Felt bad for the instructor who spent most of her time correcting our positions, but that was something that you hadn't.
I have done Pilates as of today exactly twice in my life. The
But
first
you
time
hadn't done it with a machine like that.
I haven't done it with an actual Pilates trainer. I was at a all-inclusive resort in Mexico in like 2001, 2002.
Yeah, okay, White Lotus. We don't need to know what happened there.
And there was this guy there. He was super handsome. No, but like the Pilates instructor also didn't know how to operate the machine. It was just like somebody they got from like the streets, and they're like, "Okay,
It was a waiter.
yeah, basically, yeah." He was at the restaurant later that night, like serving us dinner. No, so I hadn't. No way. Got for those who haven't heard it. So we do Pilates with Misha, and then get home, and Jen has like texted. And I'm like, "Hey, sorry, I did it on my phone. I was at Pilates with Jensen and Misha." She's like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Yeah, there's a Pilates studio like around the corner from the hotel in Toronto, and so we went this morning." And she's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I ask you to do Pilates all the time, but Jensen and Misha ask you to do it, and now you're like, oh, I'm in Toronto, going to Pilates." And she's like, "Wait a second. Like, what did you wear?" And I was like, "Oh, well, there are these socks that you wear." She's like, "I know what they are. Like 7 pair." I'm like, So yeah, that was something I did. I did enjoy it. I don't consider myself a very competitive person, especially when I know I'm going to lose. But I did find myself grunting through some positions that probably aren't meant for somebody who's 6'5", 200 plus pounds. It didn't feel good, especially going back to set the next day and doing some stunt kind of work on this this TV show called The Boys. Yeah. So if I'm limping around a little bit in my scenes in The Boys, you know why. You heard it here first. But yeah, I'll go with Pilates. What about you? What have you tried recently?
That you would suggest.
Not Pilates. Sleeping in.
I don't even know.
You asked the question.
I know. I'm sorry. I panicked.
I panicked. I'm sorry.
I took one of my friends Marie's questions. She gave me a good one.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I guess I started expanding like my road trip lengths. Like I've drove
Lengths.
like
Like
the length
going
of which
further?
I drive. Yeah, like I took my first like 5.5 hour road trip down to Virginia, and then I was like, oh, Boston's coming up. So then I was like, oh, I like road tripping through all these states. So I guess that.
Were you on the run from the law?
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
So
I won't
they
say
didn't catch
anything.
me yet, so I'm here. So,
Fair enough.
but then I have
Fair
to
enough.
I have to dip out soon. So.
You're like an honorary Winchester.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi,
Hi, my name's Sarah.
Dallas.
Sarah.
Sarah. Same thing.
Close enough, same thing. It's fine. We'll workshop it. In the earlier seasons of Supernatural, and like the earlier press as well, your southern accents. Speaking of, great segue, love that. Your southern accents are more present. They don't really come through too much in the characters, but when they do, they tend to be in maybe more vulnerable moments for the characters where they're less guarded. I was wondering if that was a conscious choice or just something that more so happens. Okay.
Thank you, Dallas.
Oops.
Thank you, Dallas, Sarah. Honestly, much like with real life, if I have a few drinks or am tired, I get more southern. I get more like lazy. So I think a lot of it was, these boys were from Kansas, and he and I both had learned to kind of like massage the way we speak to something where you could audition for many roles. But as far as Sam is concerned, apologies, but Jared was probably really tired, and then my speech just gets lazy, and I'm like, hey, Dane, you can't do that. And usually,
That was a terrible Southern accent.
I-
And
that-
you ever sound like that.
that was an impression of myself. You can't.
Well, don't ever do that again.
And so I think, yeah, it was probably more indicative of being a little tired, probably underslept. But yeah, thank you, Dallas, Sarah.
Thank you.
You?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are certain words that you if you don't think about it specifically, then it can just kind of you can default to your natural accent, and we don't have heavy Texas draws.
We're both from big cities.
and
Texas.
so, but there are certain phrases or certain words or certain things that can be said that kind of be like, oh, that was what was that? And so, yeah, like Jared said, or whatnot, but not a conscious decision, no, but also something that if it did slip out, that it wasn't. It wasn't something that would require us to reshoot that take or to do it again, because it does make sense that these guys would have influence from all of their travels.
Roman influence.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't think it was again, it was not conscious, but it was also something that could have made sense for the character. So they let it go and they printed it and they put it in the movie.
I'm gonna call him out in front of all y'all. So he has a strange accent. I'm going to spell a sentence for him to say out loud. The sentence is I space THINK space I space space IT period.
Why don't you just have me say the word?
Okay, RUIN.
So I know it's ruin, but I say it quickly, so I say ruin.
Or Roin. He's like, nah, if you do that, you're gonna ruin it. I'm like, Roin? Ruin? Like, what are we in Egypt? We have an Egyptian fan
So it's
here.
just
Where's my-
it's a lazy way to say it. It's just a lazy way to say it, and I would say it quite often in that lazy way, and but I and every time he's like, oh, what is ruin? What is ruin? And I'm like, ruin. I know how to say the word, but it's now you've ruined this whole panel.
I've ruined this panel.
Thank you.
Dallas, Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers. Hi,
Hi, my name's Kristen. It's my first time at a con.
welcome.
Thank you. My question is, when was the last time you guys played rock, paper, scissors? Time for a duel.
I think there's a better question. Have we ever played rock, paper, scissors? I don't think we have.
Do
On
it.
camera.
Because it was scripted when, obviously, we're talking about in the show when we did that was clearly scripted that way, and it's now become a thing. But I don't think we've
I don't think we've ever played it. But I think we've played it as a gag as Sam and Dean. I don't think Jared and Jensen have actually ever played rock, paper, scissors.
I'm sure we have.
When?
I mean, like, when like it was like, okay, who goes first, and then we'll quickly do that. I'm sure we have.
When?
Wait, I don't know. In the 20 years that we've known each other,
Kristen, this might come as a surprise, but grown men don't often walk around like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Let's go. All right. Yep. Are we 2 out of 3, or are we Altoids? All right, here we go. 2 out of 3. Are we okay? Let's set the ground rules. Here's how I know. Because is it rock, paper, scissors, 1, 2, 3, shoot? What are you fucking doing, Boston?
okay. I take that back. We've never played before. Because what the hell what are you talking about?
That's how Tom and Shep play it. They go rock, paper, scissors, 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Oh sure. Why don't we read a book before we do it too?
I would love to read a book. Okay, so you tell your rules and I'll play it.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
So 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
something.
Rock, paper, scissors.
All right, 2 out of 3. Here we go. All right. You're gonna do the microphone thing. Okay. I'm better with my right hand, but it's okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Damn it. 1, 2, 3, shoot. See, now he ruined it. You ruined rock, paper, scissors.
No, I think I might have saved it.
All right. So he wins. Kristen, thank you so much. Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We've never played. Not as
Yes, we have, because
not
I knew what you were going to throw.
as Jared and Jensen.
Why are you getting so close to me? God bless it. Subtext.
Your gravity. Okay, fine. I stand corrected. Hi, is that Brady?
It is Brady.
Hi,
Hi.
Brady.
You saw me earlier on the gold panel. By the way, Jensen, I still think you make an amazing flyer. I'd love to see you get chucked in this. I have a different question this time. So I'm going to Costa Rica on a school trip this summer.
Wait,
What
do it slower in English, please. I'm hard of
I'm
hearing.
going on a school trip to Costa Rica this summer. What is your favorite place to travel?
Favorite place is impossible. Here's what is impossible. Here's what I'll say. My favorite place to travel is home. And
That's so funny. Travel.
it's because I travel so much. Go home. That's the most. That's like the most joy I get. That being said, here's my one travel tip, and I could, I've got 20, but I'll give you one. And I actually was talking about this earlier with somebody. Change time zones wherever you're going. Immediately change your watch or your clock or whatever it is to the time zone that you'll be landing in. And then mentally never think about the time zone you came from. If you do that, then it's gonna just your brain's telling your body that it's not time for bed. It's only this time where I'm from. Never do that. Only look at the local time where you're going and where you are, and that will help you just assimilate quicker.
Yeah. So my favorite place to travel is also his home. He's never there, and I can sleep. I don't have to watch my own kids. Just kidding. My favorite place to travel is Italy. If I were to give advice, it would be similar to the advice you'd give someone who's aging. It would be if you're eating the local fare, don't trust a fart. And never pass a bathroom without at least seeing, like, maybe I can do it right now. Because
Brady, are you in high school?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Don't listen to anything this man says.
Okay.
in 25 years, it will be the best advice you've ever been given at home or abroad. Thank you, Brady. Good luck in Costa Rica.
Thank you so
Nice
much.
to see you again. Thank you. You know it's true. Exactly. How are you?
Oh, Brady, also learn a few words and phrases in the local language too. That always helps.
Curse words.
Yeah. Thanks. Hi.
Hi, my name is Kat, and I'm 14. My question is, if you could go back to any season or in any episode,
Yeah.
and you would change one thing or do one thing, what would it be?
Oh gosh, Kat, that's a great question. It's a great question.
I'd go back to season 6 and just cap off the whole Leviathan situation quickly.
I think I would go
I
back.
feel like we let that one go a little long.
Yeah.
It got a little long in the tooth. Thank you.
There are two.
Long in the tooth means that when something gets old.
Yeah.
Thank you. She said she was 14. I was just making sure she understood what I'm talking about.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I have two answers to that question that are both 100% honest. One is I wouldn't change anything because I think it mirrors life a lot. Two is I would go back to season 6, and Sam would look for Dean. What would you change, Kat? Wait, you're 14. You were born in 2011.
Yes, let's
Yeah.
not do the math.
I was married and
is it-
Jen was pregnant.
Is there one season or one episode where you would change something specifically?
I haven't watched it all. I'm in season 6 currently.
Okay.
Oh, so we just
There you
gave you
go,
two
yeah.
seasons. Yeah, so you can just skip right through season 6 and move on to 9. I'm just kidding.
If I could change one thing,
Yeah, shoot.
it would probably be. And think about it. My brother says Sam's music taste.
Wait, what was it?
That is a very acceptable answer, even if it came from a little sibling help there. Appreciate that.
Fair enough.
Sometimes
you.
we all need a little help from our brothers.
Yeah, and sisters. Thank you, Kat.
Thank you, Kat.
Welcome. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Appreciate it.
See you again.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Julie from Foxborough, Mass.
All right.
So I have a question about the series finale. So hopefully I don't bring the mood down too much.
Kat,
Yeah,
cover
Kat,
your ears.
earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
So in the scene, after Dean dies and Sam
Wow,
is,
wow, wow.
I'm sorry.
Kat's like, all right, well, I guess this is my last convention.
So when Sam is in Dean's room looking around,
Yep.
they show his desk and it looks like there's a job application on his desk. So I don't know if that really was a job application or if it was just like a piece of paper, like an Easter egg made to look like one, or if Dean wanted to get a normal job and was applying for a job.
That's a very astute observation. I'll speak to it because he wasn't there. He had the day off because he was dead. Yeah, there was a job application. The discussion on set, albeit brief, was is it Sam's or Dean's? It was kind of leading into. I think we landed that it was actually Sam who had a job application. I think Dean went out.
Why are you leaving your stuff in my room, man? Body's not even cold. You're in there doing homework.
You're dead. So I think Sam had made himself cozy in his grief.
Stick to the facts.
No, the idea was that Sam had done a lot of soul searching in Dean's room. He felt comfortable there. He was there alone with Miracle. Yeah, Sam was it was his transition from the life they have lived together, they had lived together to the next chapter, you know? And so I think, and Jensen can speak to this better than I can, but I think Dean lived and died the way he lived and died. I don't think he had a foot out the door. I think Dean wanted to die before Sam, you know, hunting. So it was more Sam going like, all right, what would Dean have wanted? And that's it.
What job were you going to apply for?
Bikini inspector.
Pilates instructor.
I did that. Didn't I do that in an episode? Yoga. Teddy bear doctor. Bikini inspector. What's everything? Good question. The what? Yeah. A lawyer. Yeah, see? Go law. Cliff, get rid of them. I heard noise over there. They're attorneys. There's one. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Maybe season 16. We'll figure it out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Hi, Jared. Hi, Jensen.
Hi. She said my name first.
I
What your
love you
question is
both.
for?
Both of you. I watched the show with my mom when I was in college, and we binge watched it within like a year, and it was just a great way for us to bond. So thank you. But my question is, if your characters had pets, what would they be on the show?
Well, I have one question for you, real quickly. So you binge watched Supernatural with your mom when you were in college. Do you or your mom know there was a show called Gilmore Girls you could have binge watched as well?
We already saw that.
And it's kind of like set here in Baston.
We,
It's in Connecticut. Okay.
hey, and we were like, isn't that Dean?
OG Dean.
Yeah,
See?
yeah.
She said OG Dean and she said Jared first. I'm not keeping score, but that's 2-0.
I was a Sam girl. And she,
I love it.
She was a Dean girl.
3-0. You better not mess this up. Kidding. I think Sam would have had a dog. I think Sam was a dog guy. Jared certainly is. What's that? Miracle, I know, but I mean, like, oh, right. Oh my gosh. I should probably know this show better than I do.
You would hope. You're standing on stage talking about it in front of hundreds of people.
Sam would have had a pet Wendigo so that something was taller than he was.
Dean would have had a parrot because he's a freaking pirate. He's just a modern day pirate. That's all he was.
Yeah, I guess true. I think Sam actually would have had a would have had a pterodactyl, because then they don't wake you up when they go to the bathroom because the pee is silent.
I apologize.
It's okay.
It's okay. Thank you so much for your question.
Thanks.
I really appreciate you.
Hi, Jensen. Hi, Jared.
Why did you say his name first?
Had to do it.
You did. Well done. Well played.
Been 20 years of this.
We know. That's why I said your name first.
The what?
Nothing. What is your lovely question?
Thank you. I'm Michelle. My question is, now that you guys have collaborated on The Boys for the first time in a while, has the process of getting into character changed for you guys over the years? Or has it just been back in step?
I think for me, each project or each character, there's kind of a different way to approach them. There's a different way to approach the story, a different way to approach the character, a different way to approach the relationships between the characters. So there's not one specific acting method that I would utilize because I don't know any. So I usually just try to go with inspiration and what in reading the script and reading the character, kind of try to find something that either from a personal experience, maybe a piece of my personality, maybe an inspiration from somebody that's in my life, somebody I know, somebody I've observed, maybe another character in a movie, another character in a TV show, something. All of that kind of goes into the inspiration that I find to find kind of the voice of a new character. So it's everyone's a little different and a little bit kind of tailored to that specific project. So yeah, I don't really have a specific method to get me to where I need to go. It's all kind of, it all ebbs and flows. And then when you get there on set, you think you have a plan, and that plan goes out the window because the person you're working with does something completely different. I mean, that was the nice thing about working with the same person for so long, or the same people for so long, is because you kind of got an idea of how they would approach the material, which gave you confidence in how you were going to approach the material. And so when you're starting a new show or playing a new character with a whole different cast of actors, you can come in with a plan, but sometimes you have to be really flexible to adapt to what they're doing. And so I think that adaptability was something that he and I are able to do and have confidence in doing, but it doesn't necessarily lend itself to doing the same thing every time. I hope, does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of similar. And also, my career, I guess both of ours, has been kind of in TV. We've both done movies. We've both done plays, whether professionally after high school or like in high school. And so it's very different to do a role on a movie. On a movie, you get a script. It's 100 pages or 120 pages, and when you start the movie, you shoot for a month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever. But that's the script. Whereas a TV show, you get, here's an episode, here's episode 1, here's 40 pages. And so you kind of build a character, and then here's episode 2. It's 40 more pages you didn't see before episode 1. Okay, gonna massage it and be flexible, and then you finish that. Here's episode 3, 40 more pages, and then if you're as blessed as we've been to do 327 episodes that are 40 pages apiece, give or take, everything, it's like it's with a TV show, it's almost like you have a brick every day, and you put a brick down, and then next day you put a brick down, and next day you put a brick down, and so the house grows, and the foundation gets edified, and it's more structurally sound. And so the last 2 jobs I've done outside of Supernatural and Walker were Fire Country, and were yeah. Thank you. But you're like, I'm coming into a blank slate, and there are no bricks there. Like, I haven't had a chance to really build. I feel much better in season 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 of a show than coming in. But I felt really supported on The Boys, and obviously I knew Jensen very well, and Phil Screech, who was directing, and Eric Kripke. But the way I prepare for a role is the way I kind of prepare for anything, which is I just read it over and over and over again. I read it when I'm tired. I read them when I'm awake. I read it on the plane. I read it when I'm waiting to pick my kids up at school, and something clicks every time. And so by the time they call action, I have all these little ideas, and we see what lands. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Love
you,
you
Beck.
both.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Diana. It's my first con. Very quickly, I want to thank you for all the work you do off camera for mental health support and other various charities. And just quick question, you were just talking about the writing, and the writing can sometimes be hilarious. What was your favorite insult you got to use in over 300 episodes on camera?
You're bossy and short. Most of y'all have either met him already or met him this weekend. He ain't short, you know, but I'm kind of overgrown moose. And so to be able to call someone who's, what, 6'1", 6'2", short on camera, I was like, so I did enjoy that one.
What was the question?
What was your favorite insult to use on camera?
Insult.
She said on camera. So
on camera. As Dean? Okay,
Yes.
because I was going to say, if you're opening up the Soldier Boy, I don't think we have that amount of time. Although it is funny because the same person's writing kind of created those 2 characters. And I feel like there's a lot of things that Soldier Boy says that he wanted Dean to say that never had the opportunity to. Favorite insult? You know, there were a lot, and for some reason the one that's coming to my mind first is not even a spoken insult, and it wasn't even scripted. And I have to give credit where credit's due. It was Jared's idea, but it was when we came back. It was in Bobby's house, and you bring me back from, where were we? I don't remember, but when I punched you, Born Under a Bad Sign, and all of a sudden Dean comes to, and he sees Sam. Yeah, you've been Meg, and there was a lot of struggle, and then all of a sudden Dean just slugs Sam in the face. That was not scripted, and he's like, you would probably just hit me because of what you just went through. I was like, I would. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. And so again, maybe not a spoken insult, but something that I felt was very right for the character in that moment, and was insulting in a physical way that I really felt worked for that moment.
And it made the cut.
And it made the cut. Yeah, it made the cut.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome. Hi.
Hi, my name is Giannina.
Giannina?
Yes.
Hi, Giannina.
Hi. So this question is relating to music. So for Jensen, I was wondering what your favorite radio company song is and if there's a story behind it. And for Jared, do you have a favorite song that's meaningful to you and why?
I mean, yeah, I think every song that Steve and I have cooked up has got some sort of story. I know it does. I'll say I don't look. I guess I'll pick one. Uh, and I think I've said this before, but the song "Keep on Ramblin'" is it's actually kind of an ode to Butch Cassidy, and it was, if you listen to it, it's the story of Butch Cassidy, and I was at that time when we wrote that, I was living in Telluride, Colorado, and which was the first bank that he ever robbed is in that little town, that little mountain town, and so that kind of gave us the idea when we wrote that song, and we kind of talked about, you know, what it was like to be him in that day and age, and I don't know, it just has a catchy melody, and I liked it. I liked it because it wasn't something that was, you know, your normal kind of subjects of music. It was a story. I like storytelling songs. Yeah, thanks.
Favorite song in general? I don't know. We kind of touched. We had a conversation about this kind of on a macro level earlier. Re music or literature, books or whatever. And what's funny, there's probably some way to tell on your phone, like what you listen to the most in a day or a week or a month or a year. Mine changes constantly. Mine is very mercurial. Like if I'm in a good mood, I listen to, T Swift and stuff. Um, Kidding. But I will say that when so many hard to say for like what my favorite song is. I will say this about something that he and Steve did, but I was there on set in Supernatural when they covered Elliott Smith's Angelus, because there's some, I mean, yeah, yeah, and I was there. Like I was there. I got to sit in the sound truck that we would do our voiceover and ADR for Supernatural with, and there's some really cool. I've actually borrowed. I'd seen Good Will Hunting many times, and I'd quoted it as my favorite movie often, which it was and is at times still. But there's a really cool lyric. What's a game of chance to you, to him is one of real skill. And so I borrowed that here and there because sometimes when people are like, "Oh, you're an actor. Oh, it must be so easy." You're like, "Hey, it ain't. It's not." Like, but it's also like I'm not a. I do like to play cards and poker and blackjack, but I do it maybe twice a year. Like I'm not a gambler by nature. Like I'm a kind of a pretty pragmatic kind of guy. Um, but in this industry, there are certain ways you can handle yourself or behave or work that it's a skill that people just don't realize. And he and I both, I think, have worked really hard at developing that skill. But yeah, as far as music goes, it's whatever I'm in the mood for. That's such a cop out. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you got it. Bye, sweetie. Hi.
Hi, I'm Christine. I'm actually Doreen's sister-in-law.
Oh wow.
Hi.
Doreen was over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hi, Doreen.
her husband and I are brother and sister, and we grew up where, similar to you guys, he and I, used to fight and pick on me. I was kind of dorky, and he was Mr. Popular. And now, even today,
Wait. In this analogy, who's the dorky one? Who's the pop? Wait, Christine. Who's dorky and who's popular?
well, no, like
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
anyway, so now even as adults, I'm a second grade teacher in Franklin, and he's a Secret Service agent,
Dorky.
and he still picks on me and plays tricks on me, and still, I was just curious if growing up with your siblings, if you did that, and if you still do that as adults with your siblings in real life.
Oh yeah. Yes. I literally just before we came on stage was telling Jensen about my brother. So my son Tom, who's 13, he broke his arm, and so luckily Uncle Jeff, my brother, is an orthopedic surgeon, and so we went to see Uncle Jeff and got a CAT scan and an X-ray and got a cast and stuff. But I was telling Ackles that at times, if I'm with my brother and something happens, and he's like, "Nah, man, that's stupid," I'll be like, "Your mom is stupid." He's like, "That doesn't make any sense. It's your mom too. Like, your mom is your mom too." So yeah, I guess to answer the question I think you're asking is, am I still as stupid as I was when I was 7? The answer is yes. Yes, I am. I'm still 7 years old. Yeah.
Well, stupid is as stupid does, I suppose. We are both younger brothers when it comes to our brothers. So we both have older brothers, and I had the fortunate ability to, I don't know if it's an ability, I was fortunate enough to grow bigger and larger than my older brother. Him not so much. If you can believe it, yeah. But I was larger than my brother, and so I wouldn't say pick on him or anything like that, but I would mess with him, and I've stopped doing that now because he got the last laugh. He has 3 sons, and his 2 older sons are larger than I am now. So I don't mess with their dad anymore because I am outnumbered and they are larger than I am. And they're also crafty. So I'm not kicking that hornet's nest at all. We are cool, man. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I have a quick request. You got your phone? I have one of my best friends in the whole world is having a birthday today, and he doesn't know I'm doing this, but he is not from Boston.
House lights.
But he married a Bostonian, and
Can we have a few house lights? House lights.
and Maggie is amazing, and she doesn't know I'm gonna do this either. But if we could just sing him happy birthday
His name is
today.
Evan.
His name is Evan. I'm gonna send this to him and just tell him that his wife's town is much better than the town he grew up in.
But you're gonna do a reveal, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm
everybody hush.
selfie mode now. So
Well, don't have yourself in a poster on the background. He'll know.
okay. I think this works. All right. Would you join me here? Can I get a little? What do you want to start in there? Hit it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Evan. Happy birthday to you. Love you, man.
Nice.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
That's really cool. Oh,
I'm sure I just deleted it. Okay.
thank you.
Thank you for that. He will be very sad that his wife got another one over on him, and she wasn't even part of it.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi, I'm Kira. So
Kira?
Yes. My favorite monster on Supernatural is the Wendigo. I'm actually using it as a source in my English essay about Wendigo psychosis and cannibalism for my English class. So I was wondering what your guys' favorite monsters or antagonists were on Supernatural.
I loved shapeshifters.
With the skin and the what?
I didn't love. I loved.
I
them.
hated him so much I couldn't even say the word.
You couldn't say the word.
Shut up. They don't need to know that.
I love them in spite of their flaws. I love the storylines you could tell. I love the stories you could tell when the storyline was you don't know who you're talking to. And some of those instances, and not even just Shapeshifter, but like Angel or Demon, some of my favorite acting moments were with Jensen, of course, when Sam didn't know if it was Dean, or if it was Michael, or if maybe Dean didn't know if it was Sam, or Gadriel, or Ezekiel, or Solus, or Hell, or Meg, so on and so forth, or Lucifer. But I love the way Sam and Dean had to approach issues when they didn't really know who they were talking to. So I did like the shapeshifter kind of idea.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, yeah, you're right. No.
But what do you really think?
I'm gonna go vampires. And here's why. Because there wasn't anything like, crazy supernatural about. They didn't change bodies and leave skin piles in the corner. They weren't, 10
Vampires aren't
10
supernatural.
feet
They're
tall.
not real, Jensen.
No. I mean, they were more human-like, and they had families. They looked after each other. There were human instincts, I think, with the vampires that we fought. So it was just a good old-fashioned good versus evil. Those were the bad guys. We were the good guys, and it was mano y mano. Nobody was bringing some crazy,
Rebar or something.
Well, and here's another reason. And here's because you know what? Dean died fighting the things that he loved to fight the most.
Construction material.
I also have you seen?
I cracked myself up.
Have you seen
Construction
that?
zones.
Somebody sent me this thing. It was like some stitched together little thing where it's like a shot of the Twilight folks.
Yes,
And-
I showed it to you.
And then
I sent it to you.
and then it cuts to us, and we're at the diner booth, and we just go. And then it just rolls credits.
No, you go. No, it's like it's the Twilight people, and then it cuts to Sam and Dean like in a diner, and then Dean looks over.
I just said this.
No, but you got it wrong.
Is
Because then
there an
it
echo?
goes back to Twilight folks, and then you look back at me and you go, "Son of a bitch!" You start to get up, and then the Twilight credits roll. You say "son of a bitch" first.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll go Vamps.
I'll go Rebar.
Cool.
Also a formidable opponent.
Yeah.
Very formidable.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, Kira.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Jim. If you could give past you one piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't do it. Whatever it is, past you. Okay, I'm gonna try something. I mean, there's so many to give. Don't wait to live life. You're living life right now. Yeah. Thank you. I'm still a young enough guy. I'm 42. But there's so many things that I can recall from the past 25 years of my life since I've been acting. I got Gilmore Girls when I was 17, and I've been just working, thinking like I'm gonna save up some money. I'm gonna try and build a career, and I can pay my bills someday. And I would just not allow myself to do things, thinking like one day I'll live life, one day I'll make it, and when I have this much money in the bank, or when I have a child or a wife or these many friends or whatever, then I'm gonna like slow down and enjoy and smell the roses. You're living life right now. Tomorrow's not promised, and you seem like a good fellow. I could be wrong, but I think you probably are a good human being. So reward yourself. You know, you got this far, and here you are with a crowd of people, and we all are passionate about something. Like, be kind to yourself, reward yourself. Be nice to the person you see in the mirror.
Don't do that. Go home. Nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
after midnight.
And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't. That party in the hills is not your friend.
Yeah, nothing good happens after midnight.
Nothing good happens after midnight as you get a little older. But you know, you're 20s, you can stay out till 2. Bars are open till 2. You stay out till 2. But then go home. Don't burn the candle at two ends. Burn it from the center, and then it kills both ends at the same time. No, I don't know.
That's
no,
true.
A friend of mine gave me a little book many years ago. I never read it, but it was.
It's too small. It was a
didn't-
very little book.
No, it actually was a small book, but the cover was all I needed. It said, "Don't sweat the small stuff," and I knew what it said inside. It's right there on the cover. I don't need it to go into more depth on how to not sweat the small stuff. I got it. Message understood. Thank you very much. Garbage.
Garbage. The little tiny book.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yeah, don't sweat the small stuff, man. Life is a journey. You got a long way to go. Be sure you live it in its moment, but it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, for those of you who don't know, this means we've got one more question. Only one, no more than one.
That's right.
So what we like to do is we like to tell you
This is the last question.
that it's the last question.
This is the last question.
We don't just tell you, we sing it to
This
you.
is the very last question.
As if if you didn't
This is the
understand me,
last question.
Rob likes to sing it.
There are no more
And if
questions.
you didn't understand Rob, I'm going to join him. It's the last question. Oh, yes, it is.
It is the last question.
It's happening now.
It is the very last question.
She's the fun.
It is the last question.
Lower the boom.
Oh, still got it.
All right. SBN family, say hi to Elise from, as far as I heard, Amazonia, Massachusetts.
Amesbury, Massachusetts.
Amazonia, Massachusetts.
What was your
It's
name?
right next to Gulia.
What is it? Elise from the Amazon. Okay, that's great.
So you are our last question.
You are our last question.
The first convention.
You've never been to one
2025.
of these before? Have you never been to a Supernatural one? Have you been to any convention before? Don't lie. Actually lie to me. Thank you.
Do you know who he is? Okay, no. Got it. Well, welcome. Sorry to scare you. Check out your fellow family members. And we have a question.
How's your heart rate right now?
She's dead. She might be a
Yeah.
vampire.
Yeah, no,
okay.
she is
Uh,
alive.
Well,
What is your question?
So I have a question, and it is: the music of Supernatural is very important, as any character is. If you were thrown into an alternate universe, what would be a song that you would use to describe Supernatural? I don't want to throw out "Carry On My Wayward Son." Don't come for me.
Okay, so
Okay.
is that an option, or should we pick another one? I think we should pick another one. I have one in mind already, and it's not Carry On. It's Wherever I May Roam by Metallica.
Nice.
Because it kind of describes the show. Yeah. Thank you. Check, please.
I was always a Dean girl.
Unfortunately, we won't be coming back to Boston ever again.
I
Been a
will go.
treat.
I will go on that thread. I will go The Unforgiven by Metallica.
I see a theme.
I'll dub thee.
Okay.
Elise, thank you so much for being brave enough to come up and say hi. We appreciate you.
You did great, too. That was awesome. What a great question.
That was the last question.
That was it.
That was it.
That was it.
That was the last question.
Are we doing a follow-up?
Hi, Sally.
No more
Sally.
question.
Mama Sally.
1, 2, 3.
That was the last question.
Yeah, that was it.
That was the last question.
It's all done.
That was the very last question.
It's over now.
That was the last question.
We done the deed. Good people of Boston and all surrounding counties. You've made this weekend magical. So let's put them together for a goodbye and thank you to Mr. Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki.
Here I go again on my own.
On his own.
Going down the only road I've ever known.
Robbie only knows one road.
This year I was born to walk alone.
Nobody is walking with this guy.
I'm made up my mind.
Robbie made a choice.
I ain't wasting no more time.
No, sir. Tick tock, you know what I'm saying?
Just another heart in need of rescue.
That's what we call you, Robbie Heart Rescue.
Waiting on love, sweet charity.
That sounds like a stripper.
I'm gonna hold on the rest of my days.
Yeah.
'Cause I know what it means.
To do what?
Walk along the lonely street of dreams. Here I go again on my own.
By yourself again.
Going down the only road I've ever known.
Get this guy a map. You know?
After I was born, walk alone.
So many roads. There they are, everybody. Beantown. Soak it up. Get that last photo. And off they go. Leaving us to bask in their musk. Oh, they smell like if candy could fart.
Yeah.